The episode begins with an ordinary high school student, Mimori Touka, leading a mundane life. He's depicted as quiet and unremarkable, often overlooked by his classmates. Suddenly, during a routine day at school, an otherworldly summoning occurs. A bright light engulfs the classroom, and Mimori, along with his entire class, is transported to a fantasy world. Upon arrival, they are greeted by a beautiful, yet cold goddess, who informs them that they've been summoned to become heroes and defeat the demon king threatening this world. The goddess explains that each student will receive special powers and abilities based on their inherent potential, and that these powers will determine their roles in the new world. Excitement ripples through the students as they start receiving their abilities. Students are granted powerful titles and abilities, such as Swordmaster, Mage, and other high-ranking roles. One by one, their stats and skills are revealed on glowing magic screens. However, when it's Mimori's turn, his stats are abysmal. His title is Failure Frame, a designation even lower than the weakest rank. His skills are classified as low-level spells with almost no combat potential. The goddess is visibly disappointed and disgusted with Mimori's stats. She declares that he is useless to the cause and unworthy of being a hero. Without hesitation, she orders that he be cast into the Abyssal Dungeon, a deadly place where those deemed too weak are sent to die. The other students, shocked and confused, do nothing to defend Mimori, either relieved it's not them or indifferent to his fate. Mimori is transported to the Abyssal Dungeon, a dark, foreboding labyrinth filled with monstrous creatures. As he regains consciousness, he finds himself in a dimly lit cave with no way out. He is alone, confused, and betrayed. The reality of his situation sinks in. He's been abandoned to die. However, despite the despair, Mimori refuses to give up. His thoughts turn to anger as he recalls the goddess's cold dismissal and his classmates' indifference. Driven by a newfound resolve, Mimori begins exploring the dungeon, knowing that his only option is to survive. He's soon confronted by low-level monsters, and it becomes clear that even these creatures are stronger than him. Desperate, he uses one of his seemingly useless low-level spells, Paralyze, on an attacking monster. To his shock, the spell works far more effectively than anticipated, completely incapacitating the creature. Realizing that his low-level spells may not be as weak as they seemed, Mimori begins to experiment with his abilities. His spells, though categorized as weak, seem to possess hidden strength when used in the right circumstances. He uses this to his advantage, carefully defeating monsters and gaining experience. As he levels up, his stats increase at a surprising rate, far beyond what is typical for a failure frame. Mimori's mindset begins to shift as he discovers more about the dungeon. He finds rare items and equipment, further strengthening his abilities. Each victory against the dungeon's monsters fuels his determination to survive, and to seek revenge against the goddess and his classmates who discarded him so easily. His focus sharpens, and he swears that he will not only survive but become stronger than anyone could have imagined. The episode ends with Mimori standing over the corpse of a powerful dungeon beast, a glint of cold resolve in his eyes. His inner monologue reveals his growing thirst for revenge. Though he was cast aside as a failure, he now knows that his powers hold the potential for devastation. His final words echo in the dark dungeon. "I'll show them what a failure can do." The screen fades to black as the title of the next episode appears, A Battle for Survival.